In today's video we're going to look at cinematography for your animations and how to make your animations look great. So stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel. The channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation, and if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a brand new video. Now every Tuesday I'm having my live streams where I work on characters or backgrounds, and everyone joins me and we just chat, and some of the people ask questions. And I've got a question from someone last week asking me how to create good cinematography for your animations, or what can you do to create to make your animations look like a feature film, that film look. So today I'm going to look at cinematography and all the different things you need to look at when you create your animations, especially when you create in 2D animation, when you create your backgrounds, and same with 3D animation where you mold or sculpt your backgrounds. So because a lot of what I'm going to say now has to do with backgrounds, but not everything. So this is when you create your animation, all of the things I mentioned today, you will have to keep in mind if you really want to create that cinematic look for your animations. Now, first of all, what is cinematography? Now, the best way to explain this is if you take a movie and you press pause anywhere and you look at that still frame from the movie. Normally what you want is that still frame still needs to tell you a story. You still want to portray what you want to tell your audience by just the visual. So if you, for example, create your animation, you take out all the dialogue, it is quiet, you don't hear anything. Can the audience still have a pretty good idea of what's happening, not in the scene, but in your story, just by looking at how you frame everything, how you stage everything? So that is cinematography. That is what you want to achieve. You want to tell your story visually. Okay, so now in order to do that, there's a lot of things you need to consider and look at, and I'm going to dive into all of them today. So the first thing that is very important is 12 principles of animation. Now there's two areas or two principles within the 12 principles of animation that is very important when it comes to your cinematic look. The first one is staging. Okay, so staging is where do you place your characters, your set design, camera movement, all of those things. The second one is solid drawing. Okay, solid drawing is if you do 2D animation, this is more for 2D animation, you need to make sure your background looks the way it should. For example, the perspectives needs to be right. You can't have things out of perspective. The perspectives doesn't look right. So the drawings needs to be solid. So if you want to learn more about the 12 principles of animation, because there's a lot of other principles that will really help you with to improve your project, your animation as well. I do have a mini course, so it's not a full course, it's just a mini course that will explain with you all 12 principles, and it will really help you. So in the description box below there's a link to my online courses, and you'll see there's a mini course specifically aiming on the 12 principles of animation. So if you want to learn the 12 principles of animation, especially staging and solid drawing, feel free to go and check out my mini course. So the first one is 12 principles of animation, specifically solid drawing and staging. Okay, so the second one is storytelling. Okay, so like I've mentioned, cinematography is all about storytelling. So how do you do it? The first one is staging that I've mentioned, but the second one is angles. Okay, so for example, I want to show you some images. Okay, so here I've got an image from, or I'm going to show you two images. Okay, two different characters from the same story doing the same thing, but the one they have different angles, and those angles kind of tells you more about the story. So this one is Sully from Monsters Inc., and he is very upset. Now if you look at the camera angle, he is above the camera, so the camera is looking up towards him. Okay, now let's take this one. She's also trying to be scary, but the camera is above her looking down. Now obviously they're both doing the same thing, same facial expression, but the one looks more scarier than the other. Now yes, you may say, okay, well, this little girl looks innocent and that's why she doesn't look scary. Yes, that does play a part, but when you want a character to look scary or dominant over another character, you put him above the camera, so the camera looks up. And if you want a character to look vulnerable, innocent, you let the camera look down. So two characters doing exactly the same thing, but the camera angle makes the one looks a lot more scarier than the other one. So that is a great way where you can use angles of your camera. Let's say, for example, you've got it's a work environment and the boss is very bossy, he's very dominant, he doesn't take nonsense from anyone. So when he walks into the office, then put the camera below him so the camera looks up, and the guy in the office, the worker, the employee, let the camera look down. So immediately you will create the effect that this boss is really dominant and he tells everyone what to do. He's not just a friendly boss, he's dominant. Okay, so camera angles is another way how you can help to tell story. Another area when it comes to storytelling is props. Okay, you can use props to help tell your story. Let me show you another example. This is a picture of a guy working. Okay, now let's say we want a scene of a guy that's overworked. There's too much work. Now this guy is sitting here, he's working, but I'm sure if we add some files onto his desk, for example like this guy looks like he's overworked. He's got a lot of work and he doesn't look like he's going to finish everything. And the only difference is the one doesn't have any files on his desk and the other one does. Okay, yes, this guy looks more tired, and but the files really makes a difference. So what can you add into your scene props wise that can help sell your story? So if a guy's overworked, put more files on his desk, for example. That will show he has a lot of work that he needs to do. So props, or adding props, is another way to really help tell your story. So when it comes to this storytelling, staging, your angles, adding props, normally you will plan this in your storyboarding. Okay, so when you do your storyboarding, this is where you will plan your staging, your angles, your props, etc. So this is very important, or this is why it is so important for you to do your storyboarding, because that will really help you with the storytelling of your animation. Another thing with storyboarding, it also helps you with your camera movement, and you can also use cameras to help tell your story. Like, for example, zooming into a person's face or zooming out. So you can also use your camera to help tell a story. So the third one, okay, so we've got 12 principles of animation, we've got storytelling. The third one is color. Okay, so you say, okay, color, where does color come into the picture? Well, color, if you don't know, every color represent a certain mood or a certain feeling, and you can use color to your advantage. For example, Pixar's movie Inside Out did this great. Okay, so for example, you've got sadness is blue. Why? Because she's feeling blue. Blue brings out that whole feeling. Joy is sunny. Okay, she's yellow, so she's very sunny, shiny. She's got a shiny personality. She's very joyous, so they used yellow. Red is for anger, so he's seeing red. He's very angry, so they have used color to help tell the personality of this character. So what you can do is go on Google and say, you want someone that is very rich. What color can you use? Or he's wealthy. What colors represent wealth? Then you can get answers and then incorporate those colors into your characters when you do your character designs. Same with certain backgrounds. If you need to create a background, what type of feeling or mood do you want to create with this background? Then if you want a nightclub, then obviously go for neon lights. So color can really play a massive part into help telling your story when it comes to your animations. And then finally, the last one when it comes to cinematography is lighting. Okay, so this is more into your 3D animation, because you can't really light your characters in 2D animation, but if you want to help tell the story, you'll still have to do it. Now, if you, for example, the impact lighting has, okay, so I'm sure when you were a child, you took a flashlight, you held it below your head, and then you shine it up, and that effect the light creates on your face looks really scary. And we've all tried to scare our siblings or friends with a flashlight doing that. And that is just light that falls onto an object, in this case your face, that changes what it looks like, and it creates a whole different feel and look. It's exactly the same for in movies when it comes to an interrogation room. Okay, there's always that one light above the table. There's not a lot of other light. It's just that one light, and it just helps tell that you are under the spotlight. I'm gonna ask you questions. You have nowhere to go, so I've got the light on you. So that light helps to tell the story. So you can use lighting to make a person look scary, dark, sinister. You can use lighting to put someone on a spotlight and say, okay, you have nowhere to go. I'm going to ask you questions, like in an interrogation room. And you can also use lighting and color, like in the previous point, together. So you can maybe have different colors of light in your background to help set that mood that you want to create. So just to summarize quickly, you've got your 12 principles of animation, especially staging and solid drawing, that will help you with your cinematography. Storytelling, which consists of staging, angles, props, and then you've got color. And then finally you've got lighting, and with color and lighting, just like in storytelling, you use your storyboard to plan out your cinematography. With color and lighting, you need to do your concept art. Okay, so when you design your characters and you want to incorporate certain colors to help tell their personality, you're going to do that with your concept art. So make sure you do your storyboarding and you do concept art before you start your project. Then that will really help you to get your cinematography and the look and feel of your animation spot on. So guys, let me know in the comments if I've left anything out, if there's anything that you use to get great cinematography for your animations. Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear from you. Remember, if you're interested in my 12 Principles of Animation mini course, it is $17. So if you're interested to learn about all the 12 principles of animation, in the description box below, just click on the online courses link and it will take you there. So guys, that is it for me. I'll see you guys next week with another video. God bless and happy animating.